Hi everyone, my name is Victoria. I'm the social media contributor to Core and welcome in another episode of Meet the Contributors. Today we're talking with Adam. Hi Adam, could you tell us a little bit about yourself and your Web3 background?
Hey Victoria, so thank you for inviting me to this session. So my background is pretty, I'll say I'm not really an OG in Web3, but it's still almost 5 years that I'm in the space right now. I entered totally by fate, I will say. I just landed a job back then in Taiwan with a hardware wallet company. That's when I entered in crypto. I stayed there for 2 years. Specialize in business development from my end. So I spent 2 years over in this company, and after 2 years, I went to Binance for 2 years. I stayed 1 year at the Fiat department doing BD for them, and then I moved to the BNB chain, where in the end I was the head of BD for the chain. So mostly the job was about finding very cool projects and convincing them to come to build over BNB chain. And then 5 months ago, landed in Core for new adventures.
Okay, and what do you contribute to in Core?
It's a good question, but I think Core is still like very human-sized. It's now a bit more than 50 contributors. It is important to always be a Swiss knife. After my expertise lays in a Web3 BD, I'll label it like that. So essentially, this is what I will be doing. But I prefer to label myself as a contributor and helping in any way I can.
How do you approach challenges and problem solving within the dynamic environment of Core?
Every Web3 project, we're always very bullish on our mindset while preparing for the most bearish of scenario. So we always land something that is satisfying. I assume that things will never go as planned because as far as I can recall, things never go as planned in Web3, and this is fine. It's just about how you learn to navigate in this chaos. I think Web3 is a kind of a organized chaos industry, and as long as you know how to swim and let things go, sometimes when things are too strong, it's better to let yourself go with the flow, and when things are a bit in control, this is the good time to make more bold decisions. So it's really going with the market. We observe what's going on, and then we take the best decision. We have a little bit of experience right now, me and the whole team. So we look at it from an experience, I'll say, eye and point of view, and then we take what we believe is the wisest decision.
In what ways do you believe CoreDAO is pushing the boundaries of innovation in the blockchain space?
Okay, I think my answer will be a bit different than what most of people will say about CoreDAO. But when I was looking at CoreDAO and decided to jump on the chip, I was feeling that CoreDAO was doing exactly what BNB chain has been doing on the previous bull market, which means paying a lot of attention to mass onboarding of Web2 users into Web3. So right now, I'm not shooting at anyone, but I feel that there is hundreds of blockchains that are launching, and everyone is targeting the same Web3 users. And I think we're not that much as a real Web3 users. Maybe top we are 200,000 that are say real Web3 users. When I say real, in saying like making couple of on-chain transactions a day. And interacting with many dApps. So why always addressing the same people when there's still much more people produce to blockchain and all the benefits are coming into blockchains? So I think Core, when they launched their go-to-market strategy, they've been able to speak to a lot of new Web2 users. I could feel a lot of potential of new fresh arrival of users into Web3, a lot of new people to be introduced to blockchain, to dApps, to DeFi, to gaming, to social, and all the cool dApps that are building right now. And it's what makes me feel very excited. On top of it, I'll still add that I think the way Core is addressing the future of BTCFi is quite unique. And I'm not a dev, but based on my humble experience, I still consider that it's one of the most scalable and probably at present the only really a working scalable concept of leveraging Bitcoin chain power while being easy to use for users.
Could you describe the collaborative culture at Core and how it contributes to the project's success?
Good question. So as I was sharing just before, we're just really a contributor. It's good that I think we're still in the scale where we're all contributors, and that being a Swiss knife is more important. Everyone has pros and cons. I'm very good at Web3 BD, I believe, or at least this is what I'm doing best. I'll put it that way. When it comes to Web2 BD, things are too slow for me. You have to speak for 6 months to not necessarily going anywhere. Always we have to burn a lot of money, and the return of investments not always here, or things like that. Some people have much more experience and do things much better that way. So we'll rely on them when the BD part of activities become much more Web2 centric. There is also area where people feel more or less comfortable working with. So, and we're looking to potential dApps. I love DeFi. I love Web3 gaming. I'm a bit less knowledgeable when it comes to infra and social fi. So, rely on people that, like me, have much better knowledge on social and on infra and this kind of thing. So really, we just try to leverage everyone's best skill set together, and it's not necessarily if there is something I can help with that is not BD, I will of course doing it. If there is something someone from another supposed department can help me with, they will do also. So that's why I like the terms a lot, contributors, because we contribute in what we do best, and we refrain from taking too much decision in area where we control it, or we have a bit less knowledge.
What do you think sets Corda apart from other projects in the blockchain ecosystem?
I kind of already started to reply to it on another question when I was mentioning this crusade for mass onboarding. So I think in Web3 right now, today, we have two big missions. We have constant chase of more and more decentralization in the space. I think a lot of people are already working on it and doing it well. I consider it a spectrum. It's not all black or all white. They're just how far you are into the decentralization, and are you taking more and more steps to be more and more decentralized. And I prefer to let other people work on that. Many people already work on that aspect, but there's also a very important one. There is what I like to call the crusade for mass onboarding. So I was talking a little bit about it before, but I think there's still so many people all over the world that doesn't know about Web3, about blockchain, that don't know the utility of blockchain, of Web3, what it can bring in terms of financial freedom, what it can bring in terms of new aspects for gaming, for example, with the concept of ownership, and many other things that can be provided. There's tons of use cases. Some are not necessarily so useful, but they are very funny. Some are very useful and life-changing for many people. Right now, very soon, we're going to see on-chain credit cards who can open credit line to anyone all over the world. That's actually absolute technological breakthrough for many people that could never have access to a simple card before. Today, just if you are on-chain KYC anywhere in the world, in accordance with the law, of course, you will be able to have access to a lot of new financial tools and many more. So endless possibilities. We have barely probably discovered 1% of what we could do. And the more people will join the Web3 space and being more and more interested in blockchain, the more technological breakthrough will come in, the more revolution will come. So I love a lot this mission, and I think Core is one of the few chain right now that's quite dedicated into addressing those Web2 people and making their entrance into our space quite easy.
Something about you. How do you stay updated and informed about the latest trends in blockchain, and how does this knowledge influence your work at Core?
It's kind of a controversial question because I'm questioning myself recently. So it's been always Twitter and X, but I am feeling at first, you always being the first source of knowledge. As of today, still the first source of knowledge if you want to. So if you follow the right people, you will get access to the right information. But it's kind of tricky. I think if you're new to the space and you start to follow people on Twitter, mostly you will get garbage, because I feel like 99%, is about chilling tokens and things like that, and you will not get access to the real knowledge. So you have somehow to curate your Twitter feed and try to see. This is how I do. I like to follow a lot of people, and then I'm seeing sometimes I just, if I come through a good tweet, I'll follow it. I'll follow the the guy behind it, and I will look often, and then I see if it was just one tweet and everything is garbage, I'll just unfollow, and clean my feed. But if it's regularly good content, I will keep it. But yeah, very controversial, because I found it more and more difficult to have access to good content on Twitter. But still, as of today, probably for me at least, this is where I can be up to date with all the latest trends and all the latest news into Web3 first and before most of the other people.
Okay, and last question, looking to the future, what exciting developments can the community expect from Core, and how can they get involved?
I'll share some I'll put alpha. I'm a bit cheesy. I'll use the word alpha, which is not really, but more insight on how we think here at least on the Web3 BD side. Of course, we're super bullish on BTC-Fi. Now, we just a blockchain, so we cannot shape BTC-Fi. We can help shape it somehow, but the builders that are going to build DeFi protocols on top of Core are the ones that are going to shape the future of BTC-Fi, at least for our chain. So of course, we look at what everyone's building around, trying to get inspired, and we make sure to work to provide the necessary assets on our chain, necessary technology for BTC-Fi to be able to bloom on our chain. So, for example, right now, wrapped Bitcoin, native staked Bitcoin are things we find quite cool and we believe in. We think it can be the potential base assets for a strong BTC-Fi ecosystem on our chain. So we make a lot of research around that and see how we could facilitate. We listen a lot to builders also and their ideas. We believe that essentially success will come from them, and innovation and all that will come from builders. Our role is really to facilitate. We do not want to tell you, hey guys, build that on our chain. It is not really, first we humble ourselves a lot. We're not genius builders. We facilitate people. So that's always, listening a lot of feedback and deploying as fast as possible the requests from what the majority asked for. That's for the DeFi part. Also very, very bullish into Web3 gaming. I think it's going to be essentially the future, the ownership of assets. Myself being very fan of game, I'm very bullish into all what I'm seeing right now. We want core users to have the chance to test it, to test many of the different type of Web3 game you can find on chain. So because not only about play to earn type of game, that's actually a small family into the whole Web3 ecosystem and Web3 gaming. So yeah, we want everyone to try a lot of things. I think by the end of Q1, we'll start to offer a lot of experience for people. We've been working a lot in the past in the infra, because a good chain need a robust infra for good builders to build solid dApps. So we started by the beginning, but now we're going into the very exciting part, I believe, of Core, when cool dApps are going to be live more and more. The on-chain users need to have cool things to do. So it's what we intend to deliver them in the near future. So probably you will see from the Core Twitter a lot of cool news coming shortly.
Thank you so much. That's it from my side. I think the Cortoshis could learn really a lot about the BD side of things at Core Chain. So thank you for that. And for the Cortoshis, stay tuned for more episodes. And thanks, Adam, for joining.
A pleasure for everyone. Hope it was helpful.